Welcome to another edition of the GM Files. Jim Duquette alongside Bobby Evans. And we are welcomed today by the great Stephen Turk Wendell. Turk, great to have you on board. By the way, we have a lot of people that have been listening to this. We really appreciate that. And keep listening. Tell all your friends. Pass it on to them. Let them listen so that we can keep going up the charts. But Turk, thanks for the time. How are you, by the way? How's everything been going with you and your family?
Everything's great. Living in Iowa, the pandemic sucks everywhere, but it hasn't really affected me. So, but thanks for the compliment saying great. But truth be told, you were a lot better and greater athlete than I'll ever be. So people don't know that. But it's
we'll
true.
get into some of those details. That's not actually true, but we can get into some of that. All right. So let me start off because we're going to weave in stories that a lot of people haven't heard. All right. So, because you and I, we go back to, we went to high school. Actually, we played Little League and Babe Ruth together. We played summer ball together. We played high school ball together. We went on double dates together on occasion. I'll get into some of those. And so, so I'll get into the personal side. Bobby's going to talk more on the baseball side. We'll kind of weave it all together to a nice story. So, let's start with some of some of your superstitions, because I was a part of one of them, I know, and these became famous. And you had an organization that didn't want you to do some of these, so I want to get into that detail too. So let's start with the wave to center fielder, brushing your teeth, jumping over the third baseline, and then you had a multitude of others. Slamming the rosin bag down. Get into where do you want to start?
Well, I guess I can start out how they all came about. I mean, it basically through success and failure, aside of waving to the center fielder. Thanks, Jim.
Yeah.
But
all right.
So I remember.
Well, get into that one first.
Well, I mean, that one's kind of how it all came about.
Okay.
Which is right up there with the beginning. So I remember in high school taking the mound, and I gave up a run, and I didn't know what I did differently. And I remember stepping on the foul line when I took the mound. So I never stepped over the foul line ever again, or stepped on the foul line, sorry. And so I always made sure I jumped over it. And then sometimes it just got a little bit more higher and higher. And a lot of times it was just maybe excitement of maybe how I pitched or how eager I was to go pitch. I love playing baseball, and I was always excited to be able to get on the mound and pitch. So I'm not really sure what year in high school that started, but I remember it had to be my junior year in high school. And Duke, you were playing center field, and go out and pitch. Go out and pitched, and Duke could do it. I mean, I'm telling you, he was an unbelievable athlete.
Well, high school,
baseball,
I was
soccer, and basketball.
So
it was shortstop.
In summer ball, we played center field.
So we go out and we take the field, and innings over, and of course Jimmy comes running up to me. He's like, "Dude, what are you doing?" I go, "What do you mean? What am I doing?" He goes,
"Probably struck out the side."
Because you got to make sure I'm ready. You threw a pitch, and I wasn't even turned around. I was looking somewhere else. When I'm thinking, why the hell are you looking anywhere else?
We were still playing catch out in the outfield. I'm flying through the right field. The right fielder's playing back to me. All of a sudden, here comes Turk's first pitch to the batter. Like, what are we doing?
Yeah,
so you gotta wave to me. Do something.
Yeah. And so ever since then, I always made sure that Duke was ready to go, and then it just carried on every time.
Whoever the future Dukes were in center field.
Whoever it was.
Right.
Yeah.
So Duke carried on that tradition. And then I got to college, and guys played this game of spitting on your shoes. And if they hit your shoelaces, it was this dumb little game where they hit you in the chest, how to wipe it off and all this stuff. Well, I didn't chew tobacco or anything, and I wanted to be a good role model for kids. And I wanted to play the game too. So I figured, well, I like black licorice. And Easter time, I only eat the black jelly beans. So got a lot of black licorice. It looked cool. I could be a good role model for kids. And so I was able to play the game. And then going into my first year of pro ball, I was in Pulaski, Virginia, and I had a bad taste in my mouth, and asked the bat boy to run up and get my toothbrush in the locker room. So he did. I proceeded to brush my teeth in between innings in the dugout there, and I went out and punched out the side. So I thought, whoa, I'm on something here too. So I started brushing my teeth in between every inning. And I know that was great, and that's how I really enjoyed the game. It put me into a comfort zone, just like anything else. And any athlete will tell you, the more comfortable you are, the better you're going to play. But then things took a turn for me in 95. Jim Riggleman was our manager that year. It seemed like every year we had a new manager in Chicago. And he pulled me aside after the first practice and he said, "Hey, I don't want you to do that stuff anymore." And I'm thinking, none of it. And I'm thinking, who is this guy? This guy's just raining on my parade. He said, "I think you have a great arm and I want people to see your arm. I don't want them to talk about all that other stuff." And in hindsight, it sucked at first, but it made me mature a lot as a player and as a person for that matter. And I just had to come up with different things to do to keep me fired up, keep me focused, and get me in that comfort zone. And like I said, it was all through success and failure that all this stuff kind of came about. And then I remember in Chicago one day, I don't even know who the batter was. It was for the Expos, I believe. The Expos didn't have very many high profile superstar players because they got rid of them before they were really huge, but gave up a dinger to him in Chicago. And I was so pissed at myself that I grabbed the rosin bag as he's circling the bases and I just freaking threw it as hard as I could down on the ground, internally screaming at myself, "Get your head out of your ass, stay focused, stay aggressive." And from then on, at the start of every inning, I just started firing the rosin bag down to make sure that I was trying to be on top of my game.
And you were still a starter at that time, huh?
Well, it turned out to be 95 where I was out of options. And they didn't want to get rid of me or put me on waivers because they knew someone would claim me. And
so Turk, hold on a second, because we lost you for a second. You froze up. Were you? I had asked the question if you were still a starter when you started pounding the rosin, or were you in the pen by that point?
I was a reliever at that point. And
okay.
So in 95, I was out of options, and the Cubs didn't want to take the chance of me going on waivers, and they couldn't find a spot for me. They wouldn't give me a chance to be a starter because they had too many guys on their big contracts. We had Navarro and Guzman and a few other players, or Mike Morgan. And they said, "Hey, look, we're gonna put you on the DL." And I'm going, "What? I'm not even hurt. What do you mean you're gonna put me on the DL?" And they said, "Look, just give us about 10 days. We're trying to work out a trade, and we're gonna send you to Daytona Beach so it's warm. You'll be able to pitch, and you'll be back in the big leagues." Well, the longest you can stay down on a minor league rehab assignment is, I think, 29 days or 30 days as a pitcher. I think I was there 29 days. Wow. Going broke because as a big leaguer going to the minor leagues, you got to buy the spread every night after the games. So, and I'm making the league minimum. But then I got called back 29 days later, and I was basically a long reliever and hardly ever pitched. And, I loved to play, so I was pretty excited anytime I got to pitch. And Riggleman, I'll never forget, we were in Atlanta, and we just got stomped. Straxel started. I don't think he pitched an inning or 2 innings. Willie Banks came in and pitched maybe 2/3 or I don't know what it was, but I had pitched something like the last 4 or 5 innings of the game. Well, at that point, up until the top of the 9th, because it was in Atlanta. And Riggleman came over to me, sat down, and he said, "How do you feel?" And I mean, I'm dead serious. I looked at him, I go, "Dude, I'm fine. I'll pitch the 9th too." And he looked at me and he goes, "If we score 14 runs, you can go pitch the 9th. I was just happy to be pitching. I didn't even care what the score was. And then and I got after that, I got a couple little setup role kind of deals. And then in 96, I ended up being the closer, which to me, I thought, a lot of people don't understand it, but as a closer in the big leagues, and I think in the minor leagues too, although I never really did it, it's the easiest job in the bullpen. The game dictates whether you pitch or not, and you don't get over abused by what we call dry humps, by getting up and not getting in the game 2 or 3 times in a game. That's worse than pitching every day. And I think that's why a lot of guys that are closers right from the get-go in the big leagues have such, longevity, like a Mariano Rivera.
Right. Sure. Well, that's a good point. So, all right. Because not everybody handles the close really. Like you said, it was easy. But not everybody can handle that role. I know you did. And then to me, I'm curious, did that help you in handling the big situations in New York? Or were you used to pitching in those situations because you were in Chicago? Like, how did you adjust? Because not everybody can pitch in New York like you did, because you really pitched well.
I had the mindset that if you don't want to pitch when the game's on the line, well, what the hell are you doing? You shouldn't be there. And, that's what really, it sucked when you went sometimes to games like in Montreal where there was no fans. So you have to fire yourself up, not just to come in a sticky situation or something, or a safe situation, but because there's nobody there. I mean, literally, there was 800 people in the stands. And that's obviously why they don't have a franchise in Montreal anymore. But, to me, that's what it was all about. And I got more fired up when I'm facing the guys like, Sosa, McGuire, and Bonds, and of my era, where it was the guy that I'm like, who's this guy? I didn't know who he was. And next thing you know, he's circling the bases. He just took me deep. I lose my focus. And that's why I tell people all the time too, you'll notice that a closer is not as sharp when he comes in a 3-run game, because he knows he has room for error. Right. He has a lot more laser focus.
We'll get back to GM Files in a second, but for now, we got to talk about the big tournament. It's here. We missed it last year. It's back. March's biggest tourney, and DraftKings Sportsbook is hooking it up per usual. This is just what they do. This one, $4. You got $4, BBD. Heck, I've got $4. And if you pick the right underdog, you can turn those $4 into $256. Pick the underdog you like. We threw a couple out there. We were all about Iona last week. It happened. We won people money. Winthrop, I don't know. I'm on a couple teams. I like the 11 seeds. Find the underdog you like. $4 bet wins you $256 only at DraftKings Sportsbook. Download the top-rated DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use promo code GMFILES. That's one word, GMFILES. $4, $256. It's a no-brainer. If the underdog of your choosing pulls off the upset, promo code GMFILES. For a limited time only at the DraftKings Sportsbook. You must be 21 or older. New Jersey, Indiana, PA only. New customers only. Restrictions apply. See DraftKings.com/sportsbook for details. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or in Indiana, 1-800-9-WITH-IT.
There's a 1-run lead. And to me, my role predominantly was a setup guy. And to me, that's an unsung hero, because you go out there, 12, 15 times in a row and do your job. No one cares. They toss the ball to the closer. He gets all the notoriety. He gets a little check mark as a save, and he gets a big fat contract. Where, I go out there, like I said, 10, 12, 15 times in a row, do my job, no one cares. And the 16th time I screw up the game and we lose, and now everybody wants to talk to me like, what the hell happened? So it's, that's just, you just got to take it for what it's worth. I never cared about wins or losses or saves or my ERA. The only stat I ever cared about was inherited runners scored, because I knew if I kept inherited runners from scoring, I did my job.
No doubt. No doubt. Well, you played in some great cities with great teams. I mean, very popular teams. None more successful probably than your time with the Mets, but Chicago, New York, Philadelphia, Toronto. What was it like? You go to New York, in the trade, you make 2 postseason appearances back-to-back years, 99 and 2000, including the World Series in 2000. You're leading the team in appearances both years. What was it like getting your first shot at a World Series?
To me, it was just kind of gravy, icing on the cake. Everyone, that's the goal we work for in spring training, all 30 teams, that's the goal. And I don't know, it was pretty surreal because it was a Subway Series. Mm-hmm. And the excitement about in the city and everybody who's going to be around. And I mean, it was almost like the red carpet in the clubhouse with all the movie stars and famous people coming in and out of the, singers. It was awesome. It was pretty cool. And heck, I forgot half the people I met.
That's true. That is true.
Truthfully, it was almost relaxing. I tell people all the time they don't get it, but the only time I really relaxed was when the game started, because there was so much stuff going on other than the game. Then nobody could bother you,
Right. So Bobby was with the Giants. He was, I think during that period of time when we beat them, he was assistant GM, right? You were assistant GM
in 2000. In 2000, really, I think I was director of baseball operations, really more oversight of our minor league system at the time. And that was a great season for us. 2000, it was our first year in the new ballpark in San Francisco. And, it really was, it was tough to see us lose. I mean, we had a really, really good team.
You guys had the best team. Yeah. And I said that after we beat y'all. I said, that's why you play the game. The best teams always don't win the World Series. It's the teams that are hot. And that's why I think a lot of times now you see a lot of the wild card teams win it all because they're on a serious, clicking on all cylinders, and they're hot at the right time.
Yeah, and the wild card teams have to stay laser focused just to get in,
Yes.
So it does have an impact. Sure.
Absolutely.
So let's stay with the Mets for a sec, Turk. So you signed a contract right after the 2000 season.
Yeah, you still owe me some money for that too, by the way.
The negotiation. So we're
a
3-year deal, right? And we can't do an even number. We can't go, hey, now here's 9 million, here's 10 million, here's 11 million. No, we have to go $9,999,999.99. His number was 99. I don't even remember how you got 99, but it had to be that. And our accounting department went nuts. They're like, I can't. How do I write a check for 90? I can't write a check for 99 cents. How are we going to split this up into equal payments? So tell everybody how the heck we.
I actually think I got a $13.99 bonus too, signing bonus. That was pretty much all my agents doing with marketing, and I thought it'd be kind of cool for publicity and all that kind of stuff. And I just whatever. I mean, what's another penny?
Just go.
But you haven't paid me. You're supposed to give me another penny.
All right, I'll see you this week. I'll give it to you, and I see you on Monday. Why 99? What was the number 99? Because then I want to link it into today's 99.
It's kind of funny because I never had any other number than 13. And when I got traded to the Cubs, Alfonso wouldn't give me 13.
Hardly anyone wanted 13.
Yeah,
and you wanted 13. Of course,
but I didn't understand. It's a big number in Venezuela because of Tony Perez. So everybody wants to wear 13, and I didn't know that at the time. But Alfonso didn't want to give it up. Yeah. And I thought, well, what the heck? How come Alfonso won't give it to me? I have more seniority than he does. Usually, that's just what you kind of do. Anyway. I asked Jay Horowitz if they gave me if Fonzie gave me 13, and he said no. We gave you number 10, and I said 10. What the heck? He goes, "Why, you don't like it?" I said, "Well, I don't know." He goes, "What number do you want?" And I'm telling you right now, I'm just absolute no clue what number, and I don't even know why. But I said, "How about 99? That's a pretty cool number." And of course, Jay's like, that's effed up, but I like it. So you got it. And I was 99.
So it started on 99. No, so, I mean, hardly anyone was 99 at the time. Now Judge is 99 in New York with the Yankees. Is there another 99?
The only person I know that might have had it would have been Mitch Williams with Philadelphia. Because then I got traded from the Mets to the Phillies, and they gave me 99. In my first appearance, I gave up a jack to Robin Ventura at Shea. The very next day, we're playing the freaking Phillies, and I get traded. So I just go to the other clubhouse. Then my next appearance, I gave up a jack to Galarraga to lose the game, walk off. And I went to the Phillies, and I go, dude, I can't wear 99. I got 13.
Doesn't work.
Well, there was a kid on the Phillies that he didn't know that I said I'd buy him a Rolex for 13. Tomas Perez, who's from Venezuela. And he know that. And I said, yeah, I'll get you a Rolex. The next day I had 13. There was bad mojo with 13 or 99 in Philadelphia because last person to wear it gave up a walk-off jack to lose the World Series.
Wow. So was 13 Aparicio? Is that how it got started, or I don't know?
I thought it was Tony Perez, but I don't know a lot of Latin American baseball history. So
yeah, Venezuela. Yeah. I mean, I Concepcion.
I don't remember Tony playing 13. Where was 13?
Yeah, I think it was one of the two, Concepcion and Perez.
Might have been Concepcion. Let me ask you. So one more on number 99. So fast forward. You get traded 2001. Last person to wear number 99 with the Mets was you until this year, Taijuan Walker, where he starts wearing 99
because he didn't want to disrupt Mr. Met. What the heck? I guess I get no respect.
No, you didn't get 00, and neither did Taiwan Walker. So you sent him a gift, courtesy of Jay Horwitz, is what it said. No, so what is in this little bag? Are there any superstitions in that bag? Like what is in the bag that you sent?
Well, I sent him a toothbrush and some licorice, and I made him a necklace out of animals that I've been fortunate to get.
That you've hunted?
And he's been a pretty good sport about it. Jay said he's got a great sense of humor, so he wore it for some pictures and stuff. And he said he's going to slam the rosin back down in his first game. So, yeah, I mean, hopefully he does well. And they made such a big deal out of it. A lot of the fantasy campers that I coach for Mets fantasy camp were all, that's a bunch of crap, giving out your number. I'm like, guys, I wasn't a superstar player or a franchise player. I sure as hell ain't a Hall of Famer. So what's the big deal? It's just a number.
You're a Hall of Famer in Dalton, Massachusetts. Bobby,
so are you.
Well, I was just curious. I mean, you played with some really good managers, but Bobby Valentine might have had a little edge on you in terms of personality and savviness with the media. And I don't know if anybody did, but he might have. What was it like playing for Bobby?
I absolutely loved it because he's just a guy. I mean, he's a fun guy, likes good-hearted. He's a smart baseball man, but he likes the attention. So it took a lot of the focus off the players, and just let us play. I was pretty bummed when I first got traded to the Mets because I go from being a setup guy and a closer in Chicago to now I'm a reliever in the bullpen. If I don't pitch before the fifth inning, I might as well take my spikes off because I'm not going to pitch. And I remember we were in Montreal, of all places again. I keep bringing Montreal up for some reason, but I hadn't pitched in 18 days. I mean, I felt like a bank robber every time I was going to get my paycheck. But and I went out there and pitched, and the more I pitched, the better my ball moved. And my ball moves a lot, but it was uncontrollable if I hadn't pitched in a long time, to the point where it was embarrassing. And I think that's what made me so effective when I pitched more, because I wasn't as strong and my ball didn't move as much. So anyway, we're in Montreal. I haven't pitched in 18 days. I go out there and I'm just walking the world. We're in a blowout game. I'm there to just suck up innings. And, finally Abadaka, as our pitching coach, comes walking out to the mound, and I'm thinking, oh, great. Finally he's going to tell me what the hell I'm doing wrong. Puts his hand on my shoulder and he said, hey, kid, I'm just here to give you a breather. You're on your own. I don't know what to tell you. I'm going, well, frick, thanks a lot. So, and I just kind of did a little bit of soul searching that night. And I every day when we would stretch during batting practice or before batting practice, he would go around and ask who wants to throw a bullpen. So every single day before the game, I would start throwing bullpen. And after about day 6, he looks at me and goes, what the hell? You gonna throw another bullpen today too? And I said, yep. And I will continue to throw a bullpen every single day. So the next time I'm out there struggling, you don't come out there and tell me I'm on my own. I said, obviously I've figured it out on my own. This is what I need to do. I need to tire myself out so that I'm effective if I get a chance to play today. And
that's unbelievable, because you had longevity. You were durable, until the very end. I mean, Bobby mentioned it earlier. You led the team in appearances, and you threw a ton.
Yeah, most of my appearances were not just a 1 out or 1 inning. It was double, 2 innings, 2+ innings.
Right.
But so we go into the '98 season, and I'm a long reliever and never pitch. Well, we're in Toronto, and Hideo Nomo's pitching. I don't know why I'm doing all these Canadian teams. It's kind of weird. But anyway, Nomo goes down with back spasms in the 2nd or 3rd inning. So I'm the long guy, so I'm in the game. Pitch the next inning, clean inning. Next inning, we score some runs. I go out. I give up a hit, or I give up a walk or something like that. And I remember throwing over to first, and corner of my eye, I see someone warming up in the bullpen. I'm thinking, well, what the hell's going on? I'm the long reliever. And we've got a 2 or 3 run lead. What the heck's he got someone warming up for? Well, didn't make my case any better. I give up a jack to Sean Green. And our bullpen absolutely, I don't know how many runs we gave up after he took me out of the game, but it was And I felt bad for Mel Rojas because Mel Rojas came in and absolutely, I don't think he didn't get an out. And Bobby V would just lit him up in the tunnel. But anyway, so personally, I was pretty bummed about it because I'm thinking he must not have confidence in me if he's got someone warming up. So I went into him the next day and I said, hey, can I chat with you? And he said, sure, what's up? And I said, I just don't feel like you have confidence in me because, I'm not rubbernecking over my shoulder in the bullpen, but I just happened to notice you had somebody warming up and it made me think you don't have confidence in me. So what do you think I need to do to be a better player? So if I'm better, the team's better. And then I said, don't sugarcoat it. I'm a man. I can handle the truth. That's my job, is to handle the truth and be better at it and accept it. And it is what it is. And he said, look, there's really no way to say this, but you just got to get guys out. Well, okay, who the hell can't handle that? And now at this point in the season, we had 54 games left. And I'd thrown in 33 games. So whatever that is, 106 games, 107 games.
About a third of the game.
Yeah, I've thrown in 33 games. And then that's probably just really sparse appearances. So we go back to New York and lo and behold, we're playing the Expos. And Al Leiter was pitching, I believe. And we got a 1-run lead. 7th inning ends. Phone rings. Well, I'm just basically chilling out. And Randy Neiman goes, Turk, you're in the game. I'm thinking, holy crap, what? Now I'm a setup guy? So I go out there. Yeah, I go out there, and I 3-2 on the first guy, get him out. 3-2 on the next guy, get him out. 3-2 on the next guy, walk him. Well, here comes Apodaca because Bobby V didn't make pitching changes at the time. And he pulls me out, brings in Franco, who's a lefty, to face Mike Lansing, who's a righty. And it was totally out of character me. I come off the mound. I look at Valentine, and I'm like, that's effing bullshit. I slam my glove on the bench. I said, I can get that guy out. You bring in a lefty to face a righty. He goes, well, you went 3-2 on everybody. I said, yeah, but I got him out. That's the point. I got him out. It doesn't matter. So anyway, Franco ended up giving up a triple to Lansing. And I wish I knew the story, how it ended. I don't know if we won or lost the game, but I was just so mad at myself for being that kind of player in front of the team, where I should have just went to him afterwards and said, hey, what's the deal here? I could have got that guy up. Anyway, so I didn't sleep much that night. And the next day, as soon as Bobby V got to the ballpark, I went in there and I said, hey, I want to talk to you. I need to apologize for what happened last night. It was totally out of character. I was just frustrated. And he looked at me and he said, look, because I don't care about what happens in the heat of battle. We all say things and do things that we regret. He goes, the bottom line is, I know you want to pitch, and I know you're not afraid to pitch in any situation. We had 54 games left. I threw in 33 of those 54 games. In one stretch, I threw 9 straight games, and I think 23 or 24 innings in 9 games.
Wow.
And I was just on a roll. Leiter and Franco were coming up to me saying, dude, you better tell me you can't pitch. And I go, well, guys, basically I had the whole first half of the season off. I'm good to go.
I'm well rested.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Hey, Turk, maybe you mentioned this earlier. I missed it, but just your nickname, because I remember in the minor leagues, for some reason Steven sticks out to me. And I didn't know the name Turk until, of course, you were in the big leagues. What was that, something you've always had, or was that something that came on later?
Duke might not even known my real name for a long time.
It's always Turk, as far as I can remember.
Yeah, my grandpa gave it to me when I was 3 years old, just from doing stupid stuff. And I remember jumping. I guess I jumped out on a snow pile and came down on my face and bloody. And he was in the house.
I think we might have lost him.
He'll come back. I think. You're back. We lost you. So you fell on your face in the snow, right?
I fell on my face in the snow. I guess I went down the snow pile and got scraped up, was bleeding. Yeah. My grandfather saw me in the window, was thinking, oh crap, grabs his coat, coming out to check on me, see if I'm okay. By the time he got out the door and looked up, I was back up on top of that thing, sliding down on my face again. And he had a friend of his that would do stuff like that, just off the wall, kind of crazy stuff, named Turk. So I was Turk from then on.
And that was it from age 3. So growing up, you were a big hunter. We know that. You tried to get me to go hunting. That never happened. But we did find a common ground by going on a double date, deer watching.
Yes.
And please, what do you remember about the deer watching date?
Well, I remember we're driving over. I mean, that was just kind of a thing that my family and I did on summer nights towards the fall. We would go drive over New York State, which is about 8 miles from Berkshires, to around the farms that my cousins had, dairy farms over there, and we'd just see how many deer we could see. And Jimmy and I were kind of dating these 2 gals that were friends. So, yeah, we did that. And I think we went to Friendly's afterwards, right?
We went for a friendly Sunday. That was our date, big date. Yeah. 3 months later, she dumped me. I don't know about you. If you were any more successful,
that lingered on for a while. She actually called me about maybe 10 or 12 years ago.
Okay, you can go deer watching again. What about? So this story has to be told. The mountain lion story. It's a 2-part mountain lion story. So please tell Bobby and everyone who's listening. Yes, you can't remember. I'll remind you the second one. The first one.
So my ex-wife's about ready to give birth to my son. It's January 27th. And I have this guy that's been trying to get me, guiding me to a mountain lion. He calls me up and it's 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock in the morning. He says, dude, I got a smoking hot lion track. And I said, well, I got some plans. He's like, you'll be back to your house by 1 o'clock with the lion. So I tell her, she says, fine, go ahead. Because we were supposed to have some sort of date night or something. And I don't remember what it was. I remember we were supposed to go to the movies for sure. But so anyhow, we start tracking this lion and tracking it. And it's some of this, I mean, it's rough terrain, and some of it's waist deep snow.
This is the suburbs of Denver.
Yeah, it's an hour and a half south of Denver. I mean, it's rugged terrain. It's Pikes National Forest, and about 10,000 feet elevation. Well, it's almost, and once he lets the dogs loose to chase the lion, they expect you to follow them. So I'm all in. And we get to the tree where they had treed the lion, and it's 20 minutes before it's dark. I shoot the lion, take some pictures with it, and now it's dark. So I said to the guide, I said, look, let's just not be stupid. I mean, we're 14, 15 miles back in the wilderness. If we try walking out of here dragging this 180-pound lion, one of us is probably going to break an ankle or something. Let's just spend the night and walk out in the morning when we can see what we're doing. And all I had was clothes.
Date night's over.
Yeah, gone. So I
build a lean-to, right?
I didn't even do that. The fire, and I only had clothes on my back. Well, I didn't know it was supposed to be 17 below that night. And I mean, I was fine. I slept about 6 hours, which is fine for me. And I remember telling the guide, I said, well, my now ex-wife, she's either called search and rescue or she's counting the insurance money.
Yeah.
So anyway,
search and rescue it was.
Yeah. So I walk out the next day and there's cars everywhere and sheriff's departments. And I remember stopping somebody. I go, hey, what's going on? Oh, we're looking for this guy. He's lost, some baseball player. And I go, here I am.
So he's a pitcher with the Mets, right? We think that we don't know. He's lost. His wife's telling us like we can't find him. We don't know what happened, and he comes back alive. So he comes back with the mountain lion. So fast forward to later that summer, we're playing the Rockies in Colorado, and Turk invites the whole team over to the house. This is the second part of the story. So we go over to Turk's house. I'm on the trip. We go over to his house. The entire team after the game, we're gonna have a barbecue at Turk's place, and all of a sudden, on the grill, we got steaks, we got burgers, we got chicken, we got this chicken-looking thing on the grill. You take it from there. If you remember,
we had elk and deer and all kinds of different smorgasbord of meats. And I remember Jay Horowitz, he was freaked out. Only Jay too.
He throws a mountain lion on the grill, Bobby. Doesn't tell Jay that he said it's chicken. So Jay's he's eating into this chicken burger. what he thinks is a chicken burger, and then Turk tells him it's mountain lion. He goes over and he throws up into the garbage can.
Only Jay.
Oh, Jay.
He's
that's
so
not
nice
fair.
about that too.
Well,
Jay
most
still
people,
mad?
most people I know run from lions. I mean, I don't know too many people that are chasing them. There's a great book. In fact, it's one of my favorite books called "In a Pit with a Lion on a Snowy Day," and it's about chasing lions. So you gotta check that book out. It tells your story.
Sounds pretty interesting.
We got a story. We got part
Chasing
2
lions.
for that book. Yes.
Yeah.
Chasing lions. Well, it's great to be with you today. So thanks for the time. I guess awesome. I was just curious what you would tell your younger self, Turk. What would you tell, or what would you tell young guys today trying to make it?
The thing that I try to tell the younger players today, it seems it's sad in a way for me, because a lot of the kids, they want to play because of the money and the fame, but I mean, it's such a great game, and you drive around anywhere in the summertime, and there's beer league softball guys. I mean, they don't get paid to play; they actually pay to play. I mean, because they can't play, hardball as they call it, or regular baseball, because it's too fast most of the time. But they have some over 30, over 40, over 50 leagues. But don't worry about that kind of stuff. Just worry about being healthy and pitching and being able to live a dream every single day. And to be able to sit there and reflect on a major league career, when I was just happy to get to the major leagues, not so much just have a career, but to actually have a career and have some pretty cool accomplishments. To me, it was amazing, just because I was not good. I was a mediocre reliever. Some days I was above average, but to be one of less than 20,000 people that have ever put a major league uniform on is pretty cool. And to be one of those people, to me, I'm just going, wait, that was really me.
But he undersold himself, because he was a good reliever, and especially during the Mets era. And he followed in the footsteps in our town. Jeff Reardon was one of the great closers of all time. And so he and Jeff Reardon, he should be in the Hall of Fame. But so Jeff and Turk from our town were the great pitchers. And I'll say this on this note, I have one more hunting story that I want to bring up that, again, not many people know. So you're with the Mets. I'm complaining that we have deer in our backyard up in Connecticut, this neighborhood in Connecticut. They're eating all of my wife's flowers in the flower bed, just chewing them off. And I'm complaining to Turk. You remember the rest of the story?
Oh yeah. I said, well, geez, dude, I have a license to hunt in Connecticut. Bow season starts early September. When can I come over? So me and Mike Kincaid were there bright and early.
6:30 in the morning, pouring rain. He's in full camouflage gear in my backyard, with his bow and arrow, ready to kill any deer that walked by. My wife didn't know. She freaked out, started screaming, "Who's in the backyard?" And he's in full camouflage gear, waiting for the deer. Now, this is a neighborhood that's only about an acre long. Like there's neighbors on either side of it. Yeah.
Well, that's how it is in Connecticut. Yeah.
It was. Yeah. So you didn't walk out with any deer that day.
No, not that day. That's why it's called hunting.
Yeah. Right. All right, Turk. Thank you. This was good. Always a pleasure. Anything you want to add?
Anytime.
Anything you want to add at the end? We hit pretty much all that we could.
Pretty good.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know. Getting back to maybe Riggleman. I mean, he called me in the office after the '96 season when I was closing, and he said, that was kind of like an end of the year meeting, so to speak, thing. And he said, "Hey, I just want to say thank you for doing everything I asked and having a great season." And because this was basically the first time I really got to establish myself as a big leaguer, and I had success as a closer. And I looked at him and I said, "Thank me, thank you." I said, "If I go home this winter and something happens and I can never play baseball again, I know that I could be here and belonged here, and I proved myself here, and I owe that to you, because you gave me the chance to prove that, not just to me, but obviously I proved it to you." And Riggleman and by far Bobby V were two of my favorite managers, and I still talk to Riggleman to this day. And he says, I talked to him maybe 2 months ago, and he's like, "I talk about you all the time, and just I use you as a reference, your competitiveness, your drive, And I wish more kids had that.
Yeah, he's good people.
He's good people.
Great guy.
Turk, we always appreciate it. Thank you. We'll do it again, but we're gonna get this out to all the Mets fans that haven't heard all of the behind the scenes stories.
I'm sure my phone will start blowing up again.
It'll start. All right, man. I'll see you next week.
All right, buddy. You guys take it easy.
Thanks now.
Bye.